Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the very first episode of the HNE podcast. This is going to be our main show on the channel. We're going to be talking all things movie and TV shows and trying to cover all the franchises that we don't get to hit on. So, with me, I have Michael.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Glad to be back here on, glad to be here for the first time on our new podcast, HNE. Thanks for having me.
And we also got James with us.
Hi, Diddley-o, neighborinos. It's good to be back here. Actually, no. This is a new neighborhood that we're a part of here, and it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yeah, right. This is our YouTube cul-de-sac. This is where we reside.
Yeah, but it's been like a hot minute since we've done a podcast, I feel like.
Yeah, it really has. Though
I was going to say, I feel like I haven't been on the podcast all summer almost, I want to say.
Yeah, but then again, you know, San Diego Comic-Con, taking up a lot of time. Which I understand.
Right.
Well, they don't care. They're here for the new episode, and we're about to drop some knowledge.
But funny enough, today Disney randomly had like a Q3 earnings call, and some big stuff kind of came out of that. Basically, the fact is that Disney lost money in Q3 due to Dark Phoenix and kind of having to inherit this slate of Fox movies that were all shot and done. They just had to get released. And other movies are on that list, Breakthrough, Stuber. They have other releases later this year, like Ad Astra, Ford vs. Ferrari. The Woman in the Window, I think, is one. And Steven Spielberg's getting ready to shoot his West Side Story movie for Fox.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and plus another thing that Disney's going to have to get through, at least for about a year or so, it's probably going to hurt them, is the fact that they've pulled off so much of their licensed content off of Netflix and Amazon and other providers because they're moving everything to Disney Plus. So they're not going to be getting that money that they would have, say if they had Marvel movies streaming on Netflix or something. They get money for that, but now they're not going to get that revenue. So it's going to be a tough year, I think. Hits they're going to have to endure before they get to that profitability and before they can start turning around some of these Fox things. And speaking of Fox things, they did announce that they will be reviving or rebooting Home Alone and Night at the Museum for Disney Plus. They didn't say if it was going to be a film or TV series, but I'm guessing both of them will be TV shows, taking that property and kind of remixing or rebooting it. So, James, what are your thoughts on these updates?
I don't really see how you can make a show out of Home Alone.
Right.
Like the premise is burglars come to a kid's house, kid lays traps.
He kills them. It's like a dark R-rated version.
Oh.
It's like Saw, but Home Alone.
That'd be amazing. I think the Home Alone franchise is fine as movies. You know? I'm fine, every Christmas season I'm always gonna watch Home Alone 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't really bother with 3, 4, or 5. I think there's more of a potential for something to be done with Night at the Museum.
Mm-hmm.
Because the films kind of did the same thing where, it wasn't just the same museum. First one was it was a museum in New York. Second one, it was the Smithsonian.
Right.
They could go to different museums, around the world. That's really all I have to say about in terms of those properties.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, I want to see Disney strive for more, original content, which I get. You gotta make money. Easiest way to do that is make live action remakes.
Yep.
Or take existing properties and do something with those. I get it. They're easy money makers. The mouse must be fed. But I hope they. They have a team, of people that are, brainstorming, creating ideas for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Something fresh, something original, something that'll stand the test of time.
Yeah, at the same time, though, it's like, I don't know, I would like to see stuff like that too, but it almost feels like they have so much IP now, like so many brands, like why even try to mine, or why even try making original stuff?
Yeah, but as far as I feel like Disney is sort of at a low, when it comes to original, creative stuff. Because looking at this year, all their movies have either been sequels, live action remakes, and the Marvel movies and Star Wars.
Yeah.
The only original movie that's getting ready to come out soon is that Onward movie.
Well, technically, their slate includes the other Fox movies, though, Ad Astra and Ford versus Ferrari and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess no New Mutants then?
No, I don't know if New Mutants will ever see the light of day.
Yeah, I think the X-Men franchise needs to lay low for a little bit. It's like Brick Tamlin from Anchorman. Brick, I've been meaning to tell you about that. You're wanted for murder. You should probably find a safe place, lay low for a while.
Oh man, Michael, what are your thoughts though on just a little bit of what we talked about, like the idea that Disney is scaling back Fox releases because they're losing money this quarter, and also they're reviving Home Alone and Night at the Museum for Disney Plus.
Well, first let's just talk about the idea of Home Alone and Night at the Museum coming back for, just coming back in general.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with the idea of bringing back Home Alone. I feel like it's been long enough, and it's a property that I'm sure is popular enough, and people wouldn't mind to revisit. But as a series on Disney Plus, I don't know about that. That's a little out of my realm of vision. I can't really see how that would work, because they do really work as just like stories that work as a one-time thing. Like, what are they gonna have him do? Make enough traps that'll last 8 hours worth of content? Like, what?
Yeah, well, I was just speculating if they're going to be shows. I think I have more of a gut feeling that Night at the Museum will be a show, because that was already in talks for a show before this whole deal went through. Like, Fox was trying to make it a TV show for FX or one of their channels, I guess. But Home Alone could be like a streaming movie, I think.
Like an original, like, hey, here's a Home Alone 5.
Yeah, because they're already making a bunch of streaming movies. Like, they have The Lady and the Tramp and this other Noelle and some other movies. And
No, wait. I just thought it. You make a Home Alone series. You get Macaulay Culkin back as a grown-up Kevin McAllister, and the trauma of criminals coming into his life, almost killing him. It damages him, and knowing that he lays traps, he becomes like a serial killer or like a serial arsonist. Like, he goes around buildings setting traps for random people.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, that would be interesting. We'll see. I mean, if they do an original movie, cool, but I'm sure people wouldn't mind seeing that in theaters, and they can make more money off it, but who knows. Night at the Museum, that would be pretty cool as a series, I guess. Them losing money, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. Take the hits now. They're gonna make billions off it later. Who cares?
Yeah, like I said, it's probably just a short-term thing. They're gonna have to deal with it for a year. But anyways, on that note, that is gonna end the episode. Thank you guys for tuning into the HNE podcast, episode 1. Like we said at the beginning, it's really great to be back, finally doing this podcast. And I think, from what I was talking to Josh earlier, we might be doing 2 episodes a week with like rotating people. So yeah, if you want to ask us questions to get answered on the show, you can tweet at HNE Social on Twitter. Just tweet at us. I guess you can use the hashtag AskHNE podcast. Without further ado, Michael, where can the people find you at?
Yeah. If you guys are interested in following me, feel free to check out Fail Whale Prod on Twitter, or Failwell34 on Instagram and Twitter.
Alright, James.
Alright, sorry, YouTube.
Oh, yeah. YouTube.
So, for me, on Twitter, you can find me at Hair Beverage. That's HERRBEVERIDGE. Or you can find me on Instagram at Bevs1865.
Alright, and if you guys want to follow me online and talk about movies, TV shows, comics, games, whatever, you can find me at who's_Nick everywhere. And that's going to be the episode. We'll catch you guys next time.